right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Let me add my guest. And it's okay. Or do I not know how to add? Gotta figure out how to add. Hey, you, I see you. Hey, Michelle. I'm waiting on Gigi. Because you know I don't really know how to do this with nobody. So, yeah, you see I had to come up with lights and everything. Otherwise it would have been dark. The other one is just too hot. Yes, girl, we hanging in there. Okay, as soon as I see her clock in, then I'll join her to it. Okay, we getting there. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is time to have conversation that I need to have, because sometimes I just be in here by myself. And I can't just keep talking to myself. You have to. I got to share all this good stuff with somebody. Now I know there's somebody gonna be slick. So wait a second, she ain't turned it on the side. Yes, because it's not me alone. What, Michelle? Girl, you gonna love this one. The freak within you, baby. The freak within you. I don't see how to add you. How I add you? Go on the line. I need to add you. Ah. It's all about the freak within you. And some folks acting like they ain't got none. Did I miss it? Oh, Lord. Bear with me, folks. You know I can't do that part. I'm getting there. It doesn't show my live on my phone. Okay, she coming. Woo. I see Philly in the house. Woo, there we go. Okay. Bam. Bam. And it should be, it's going to be fun. Hey! There
Hi,
she
boo.
ah,
Queen Brenda.
you giving me that Japanese style, girl. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. I love it.
Now you
Total
Japanese.
Shibumi. Yes. Folks, this is the one and only Gigi Cummings. I call her Freckles, but that's from another time. We'll talk about that later. But right now, listen, I'm going to give her the floor, because she got this down pat. Mama gonna learn a few things. She gonna interject every now and then, but this is conversation we really need to have, because folks acting like they ain't got no freak within them.
Everybody got that freak within them, honey. Everybody
Go
got the,
ahead.
even the ones who don't got it in them, who's claim they don't got it in them, got them in them. Got in them. You know, I was thinking earlier about, people who claim to be religious and they always want to denounce that sexual side of them. They want to hide their promiscuity.
Mhm.
They want to hide the fact that, they like to not really be with the same person all the time. They want to hide the fact that where they're having sex at, the places that they're doing it. They want to hide the type of person that they're doing it with.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Right or wrong. So I,
That's
I
a
just
fact.
I just wanted to start there. Because as another conversation we was talking about was, the clothing that you wear, the appearance, and people trying to denounce someone else because of how they look, or maybe their
Hmm.
religion and what they're doing with their so quote unquote status. Because it's also about status and the way you have sex with your status.
Oh yes.
There's so many ways to go with this conversation. I don't even know where to start.
We don't know what to start. Okay. Uh, all right. I'm gonna throw it out there with this piece. 55. Um, like I said in the video, I think the last time I saw a live penis was Pornhub. Okay, let me.
Growing
Okay,
up,
but if I really want to talk about the last time I saw a live penis, um, damn, I think 2015.
2015, baby girl.
Yeah,
Well,
and it was a flashing moment that that's why I say I
somebody
gotta
flashed you?
think. No,
Listen.
it was just a moment. I think it was lunch.
It was lunch.
I,
What happened? You was eating him or he was eating you? What kind of lunch you talking about?
Ooh, it was lunch. Everybody was eating everybody. And even them things, folks be like, I can't do that. I'm like, you's a lie. Even though I must say, if I don't have a certain level of trust, your head ain't going there.
Right.
Because again, just as one can be so high, I used to be told I vibe so high, but that's the spirit rising. So even as you can say your spirit can rise when you're dealing with biblical measures, your spirit can rise in the sexual essence. And if there's, I would just, you got to have oomph around you. You've got to have some measure of strength for me to respect you enough to let your head go between my legs. Because if I don't respect you, then that's the other flip side, and she different.
Well, I actually think that, fellatio and cunnilingus, as they call it, is
Yes,
more, is very more intimate than
yes, it is.
the penetration.
Yes, it
Um,
is.
because as a woman, definitely, something is going inside of you. Even though it's not a penis, that tongue is going inside of you. And you have to, know what comes with that. Like you said, it's a spiritual connection as well. You got
And you
all
got to
kind of
trust the.
pheromones being released. You got all kind of juices flowing. This is going into your digestive system. It's going down your digestive tract, right? So it
That's
starts
why
on the
y'all got to
tongue.
eat right,
It starts at the
eat
tip of the
fruit,
tongue. And on your
eat
tongue, you
fruit.
have a lot of different um, taste buds. So it depends on how you eating it too. Is it just the tip though? Or are you
Cause
really
I can't
going
do the
in?
rabbit and
Are
chipmunk
you are you
routine.
eating a mango or an apple? What you doing?
There
That's
you
gonna
go.
affect all of it too. And let people know how deep and how much you want them and how one y'all are with each other.
Because some don't get it. They're like, well, that worked for me with everyone. Listen, we're all different. We are all different. We will not all respond the same way to what you figure you were gifted with and felt like you need to bless somebody with.
Mm.
What works for her don't necessarily work for me
But listen, you can't
or
bless
anybody
everybody
else.
either though. You can't bless everybody and you can't bless them all the same way.
Amen.
If I can go a little deeper, we're all godly and God blesses people in different ways.
Man.
You might look at one person and be like, they got this, they got that. But when you equate it to a sexual level, you cannot give yourself 100% to someone else. No time. That's how I look at it. No time. No time. Because when you give 100% of yourself, there's nothing left for you. So with that being said, you cannot fuck everyone the same way.
Not at all. Some got to know, listen, this is pure exercise. And they know that from the back. Like I was telling somebody earlier, I said, I literally used to have a man in my life whose only function was to take care of the tatas.
That's it. I
He
got one of
couldn't touch
those.
nothing else. I ain't no other part of the body was for him. It had come down in the time that, dude, you do this exceptionally well. And because you take care of the girls so well, I get that full body orgasm that I'm done, you're dismissed.
Mm.
But then
Penis
again,
like dismissed.
I'm
Bye. I will see you later. Go home. Put on your clothes and go. Dismissed. Type of dismissal. I mean,
And
you
I'm,
know, a lot of people talk about men and how brutal they can be with women, you know, with dismissing them and, you know, not making them feel valued. And it's just like, all right, hit it and quit it type of situations. But women do it too. I'm
I've been
guilty.
doing it a
I'm
long
guilty.
time.
I said, listen,
Maybe, maybe
gotta
that's why
go.
I'm celebrating.
Do not come cuddling up next to me.
Michelle said, I don't want to fuck. And listen, Michelle, I ain't fucked, made love to, slid up on, dealt with, sucked, but lick, none of that. And whatever. And no, I don't. If I, in that terms, that's why I was talking about that just release dick or that, okay, let me do my obligation dick because he needs this and that'll get him off my case so I can get back to dealing with the kids and dealing with the job and dealing with the school. That's fuck.
Yeah, because
That's
speaking
just
of,
let's release.
women have a lot of obligations. We have a lot
You
to
know,
do. Sometimes we just want a quickie too. Listen, you got 5 minutes. Get it and quit.
that's it. Don't fall short.
And I hate when people try to pretend that they ain't gonna just move on with it. They talk about, oh yeah, only 5 minutes, I'm ready, and then they want to have a full on fucking marathon.
Oh
It ain't time
no,
for no marathon
no,
sex.
no. Those
Cause
muscles
I
got
gotta go to work in the
relaxed. They
morning.
had their moment. It's time to step. But then again, see, that's why I need to be in training because I'm it's not that I'm slightly scared that the moment may come and the right person's gonna come across me and all the wilting weather stuff is gonna be and I'm just gonna acquiesce to the moment and I don't want to tap out, Lord. But it's okay if it does.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I also know and I've had to come to people lie sometimes and don't understand why those who are disabled may at times have a better sexual life than those who aren't. And I can say better at the moment because it's not filled with fluff, BS, and garbage. So I can consider it better. It's non-mind cluttering.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I got a man for every occasion other than the physicality of my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I work with that. Now, at the same time, I have physical issues where no, I I can't get it up for you, baby. Doing that, and there'll be no hand jobs here. But I'm grown enough, astute enough, and in tune enough to know you sit down over there. I'm gonna be on the other side of the room, and you watch. You gonna mess that ceiling up, and I ain't gotta touch you. But that takes time. And some people don't want to take time,
Well,
much less to know themselves. I know women who've never touched themselves. They don't know how to turn themselves on in any way, shape, or form, yet you want to be upset because he said, now this is going back to a real conversation. You want to be upset because he said, well, all the other ones come from me.
you gotta please yourself before you please somebody else. You gotta feel around and know what's going on down there. I think maybe probably
They
like at age 8, maybe even early. Well, for boys, you know, they always start touching, but you know, then they start saying, "Oh, hold on, what this kind of feels kind of good," and you start exploring. But
That's
when
it. But aligning the mental with the physical for that moment. I think a lot of times because girls are always taught, okay, you clean it this way. After that, don't touch it. Leave it the heck alone.
and don't let nobody else
And
touch it. You don't
don't let
you don't let
nobody else
nobody else
touch
touch
it.
it.
And the only person that's gonna be allowed to touch is your husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm I'm 55, so I've been having conversations with older women as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they a trip. Those who haven't had sex since God knows when, for various reasons, whether it's a sick spouse, and that can be one of the most, I can't even imagine that type of pent up energy and all that's going on. You have a long term sick spouse, and you really have to find a way to pleasure you and release you because your spouse can't participate or their mindset isn't in it. You have folks who forget or never got to find out that they got so much within them that they can do it by themselves and not even touch themselves.
Listen, I could turn myself on in a minute. I'm so fucking sexy. You hear me? I look at
Hello.
myself in the mirror. I'm like, damn.
I'll be keeping them full length mirrors around. Folks don't understand. I have to, I do, it's not to say it's a body check, but I have to see what's aligning. I know one thing's smaller than the other. I know other things drift to the side. But with every, because I remember I saw a post that they were talking about the cellulite and the stretch marks and the fupa. And I look at all the changes the body goes through, and it's still motherfucking sexy, goddammit. It's just that it's all for me at this moment. That's just bottom
Let's
line.
talk about ageism in sex too. I mean, it's people 80 years old. It don't mean they pussy ain't working no more.
Boom,
It still works.
boom.
I mean,
And
men
with
on the
this
other hand,
stage of,
sometimes, it ain't working. Sometimes it just ain't working. But
because you
if
go
that
through the,
man has your mind, if he had fucked your mind,
ha,
he can fuck anything else without even touching you.
bam. And that's what they scared of. They letting the little blue pill override. Baby, you don't need that sucker. I'm not going to lie. I did have the experience one time. And then when the next time came around, I realized how I had been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray. I'm like, what?
What
The,
happened?
I was under the illusion that it was afterwards I knew that that was the blue pill that did it. Like, oh no, no, that means you didn't even allow for yourself to link, sync, and go with me. You overtook it with a chemical. Man, listen, that's like some
It's
fool
better to
sitting
be
getting
yourself.
a damn crack pipe and talk about getting it up. At the same time, he's pulling in something that's constricting his blood vessels, that's bringing it back down.
Hmm.
Come on.
Yeah. It's better to be your total self, especially when you first start having sex. What can you bring to the table without all the pills, without the alcohol, without anything that's taking your mind and body to another level?
That's it without
I want to know
anything.
about that first. I do.
And
Not
since
to
I
say that
can't
it
do
happens
toys,
all the time. Sometimes I'm very inebriated. But I'm just saying, I would like to find out what's going on without all the extras.
yes. So that when I come out of the stupor, you want to know if you happen to just y'all walking along the boardwalk, there goes the sand dune. Well, damn, that seemed like a good moment. Can you do it in the sand at the boardwalk and the beach?
Listen, the
Can you do
sand
it?
is a
Can you
no-go.
do it when we taking
The,
that nature walk through the bushes?
maybe in the bushes, but the sand is a no-go. Because when that sand get up in that cooch, oh my God. I'm speaking from experience.
I
Queen
know I've
Brenda,
been there. Yeah.
that sand
It's
is a no-go.
abrasive.
I was crying for two
It's
days.
abrasive.
I was crying for 2 days. No more beach sex for me. We
No,
got to be standing up. I'm thinking like this shit gonna be like in the movies, lying down on the sand, rolling around, and all of this shit. Oh, my coochie was on
nope,
fire. You hear me?
nope.
Outside.
Mixed with sweat, the full skin rub. But if I remember, there's some relationships that we have that they may not be the best relationships in all aspects of them, but the sexual liberation within the union is stuff that when you just like, yeah, I learned some shit. And then you're like, okay. Because I've actually been around folks where, listen, I'll tell you in a minute, my sexual nature's locked down. Listen, me and you, we vibe on every level under the sun, but we're not going to do this. Now, what that does when both are in a serious state of attraction, but they use the energies and everything else under the sun. I mean, we literally could build a house and a half an empire, but except sexually, it gives a whole other tone to what sex is. Now, I'd be in tune enough that I'd have the dream, and I'm like, ooh, it's coming. And lo and behold, the manifestation of the dream happened, and it's like, Okay, off to the stratosphere. Now I can be off to the stratosphere anyway because I love seeing movies in my head. And if you couldn't do that, you'd be
I be having
dismissed.
movies in my head too.
You know, but it because we at that next level. Listen, I'll be one that's if I call out some numbers, find a way to remember it because we gonna hit.
You hitting a
That's
lotto.
guaranteed.
He hitting a
It's
lotto
a
with this.
spirit. That's it. It's spiritual work. It is a union. But being allowed to actually explore. Now, I don't necessarily, I'm not of a I don't, there's just too many labels nowadays. Am I fluid in my sexuality? Yes. Have I had various, I'm 55. I'm and Pisces. Trust me, I've explored, been explored. Whether the I don't like to use the term whether the initiator were male or female, those experiences have happened. Have I initiated with male and female? Yes. Um, but everything ain't for everybody, and everything is not of a certain measure.
I
Um,
mean, you know,
Not
you could
all
be
acts.
attracted to a lot of different things. Whether you're, I guess I'm pansexual. If you're a
That
man,
okay.
you're a woman, maybe you might be a tranny. I don't know. But if I
I,
look at you and I feel like there's something that's sexy or attracting me to you, I can't help that. I don't know what's in
that's it.
between your legs. It could just be that feeling, that aura. We talking, we're vibing, and
Revival.
I don't know. I just get that little tingle. You know that little tingle you get between your legs sometimes. You just get the tingle.
I remember it. It doesn't happen at the. It's listen. I've learned to block my eyes to men in South Carolina because these guys would tell you in a minute. These women get us before we're even right. So South Carolina is a state where, especially if you're a certain age, you have to come with a partner because it's still a lonely space. And I don't drive, so I'm not in certain places of spaces. But I used to always say, you know what? Part of that didn't make no damn sense because I'm visible. I'm very visible.
Mm.
Everybody knew who the hell the lady in white was or the lady with the camera. But at the same time,
You can't be missed.
um,
You cannot be
no,
missed.
but men have to they think real hard before they approach me. And it's always been that way.
Hmm.
And they have to, because I would dismiss you with a heartbeat. I ain't got time for the BS. You got to come for
I
more than
mean,
telling me
is that
about.
something that they knew about you and felt like fear of rejection, like they know they could be dismissed quickly, or do you think it was just something about your aura? They like, I can't even fuck with her. I gotta come
Not
correct. And
That's it. They know they got to come correct because you can't come telling me even in my worst days. You could not, and some of my worst days were some damn good days. I learned a lot of stuff. You couldn't come telling me nothing about, oh well, you gonna buy me this or take care of this or pay this bill or that bill. I'm like, listen, dude, do you literally see that house over there and that property over there and that stuff being renovated? You can't figure you gonna come and impress me with a meal unless you gonna cook it. I don't need to go
buy the
out. There were times
groceries
when,
and cook
huh?
it in your house. They're gonna buy the groceries and cook it in your house and serve it to you. That's impressive.
And some don't understand that mutual measure. We can burn fire together. We can actually blend recipes and have conversation.
I
But
mean, if
again,
you really
like
want to
I
impress me, if I
said
got something
earlier,
right here, wipe it up. I noticed this. You know what I'm saying? Put some
girl,
ice
I've been
cream
here
on a
10 years.
spoon, feed it to me. Do some different shit. Cater to me. Because back to what you were saying too about the people who are not exploring. Um, a lot of people feel like just giving head is foreplay. Let's do that before sex.
Mm,
Has that been your
that
experience
part.
in your 55 years of life?
You got to come earlier in the day than that. Foreplay starts it because if you're working it right, foreplay starts before you left out. Or if okay, say you're cohabitating, The foreplay started before you got out of the bed in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
The foreplay works with them stupid little notes that just happen to come in the middle of the day. Okay, now folks will text, but I may not be a texter, but you may literally reach into your pocket and you pulled out something that
Mm-hmm.
is only going to mean something to you. Foreplay is a lot more than just that time before actual or possible insertion.
Mm-hmm.
Because the actual act of good sex can last a couple of days and drag it through the weekend. What we did during laundry, what I mean, oh gosh, I miss them
I
times.
think it starts in the eyes. I think that
Yeah,
foreplay, like when you really look into
it's all
somebody's
got to be
eyes,
appealing.
and when you fast forward into the situation, you actually doing it, and you got that stare in their eyes, and y'all just like loving each other. Y'all both your eyes dancing with each other.
Listen, if I take off my glasses, it's on. That's the
Listen, when
difference.
mine's fall off, it's on.
Yo, that's the difference. If I take the time to like, okay, let's go to the next world. If when a
That
woman who
alien
wears
shit.
glasses, ooh, Lord, make you want to get contacts again. Okay,
Oh my god.
uh, but no,
No, I
I
love banging and my glasses all on the side and shit just fall on the floor.
girl,
Love
listen, they
shit like that.
bifocals. They got to come off and be safe because it's about to get raucous.
Or if I'm giving head with the glasses on and they getting all foggy, that shit turns me on by itself. It's a lot of little things that turn me on. It doesn't necessarily have to be the sex.
Why you had to make me remember and I miss it so much?
You had that memory?
You don't
Yeah.
understand, because see, okay, let me allow myself to visualize
Oh my god.
the
Don't let me
crown,
visualize because I'm gonna start moaning.
the ridge, the mushroom, the engorged vein. It's standing at attention.
Shit.
I don't think I got a chance to do it later on, but I do remember subjecting someone to one heck of a photo shoot. And one of my favorite classes was human sexuality.
Mm.
And at the time, I'd travel back and forth from New York to the village and back. Yes. So I had authentic photos that were in my presentation. But I do remember the trappings of studs, chains, and leather,
Mm.
and the black penis being the focus of this entire photographic display done on 11 by 17.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yes.
How black was
Woo!
it?
And I ain't come across nobody yet who deserved a photo shoot since then. But I know it's coming because we get better as we get older.
Wait, I need to go back before because you sound like you're about to veer off. I need to get back to that vein. When you see those
Yes,
veins just wrapped around like trees, roots from a damn tree,
yes.
that's when you know you're about to
And
get pregnant. He's about
and
to implant the
thank God
roots
for
inside of
menopause.
your pussy, and you's about to listen.
Thank God
Don't
for
say
menopause.
look like your shit doing push-ups or sit-ups, whatever, curls, whatever the hell you want to call it. That
Yes, and it
it's a
deserves
beautiful sight.
respect.
It's a beautiful sight.
A fully engorged penis that responds to one's voice.
Yes,
That responds to the voice, especially if you
that jump,
blindfolded him.
that jump. You know that little jump, the
Yes.
little, the.
Now, if you've removed a few of the sensory issues, you've blindfolded him.
Oh yes.
He is blindfolded.
I mean, I like
And
it kind of rough sometimes. I like the blindfold. I like the constriction.
you got to mix it
Maybe
up.
my legs are tied down, my arms are tied down. You know, something of that nature.
See, you in that silk world.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. In my 40s, the 40s, like I said, the 40s, they had a split in them. Part of it could be considered rough, but extremely sexually liberating.
But were the 40s the best of times, or were they the worst of times?
Both.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh yeah, both. It's a weird balance to it. Um, Situations that could be considered life threatening on one side, but again, this is when that's because this person was scripted bipolar. So you know what the hell was coming. But because you're Pisces, you can flow with just about whatever,
Uh,
and you got to check yourself. Say, hold up, all
Pisces
right.
is my sexual sign.
There's a part of me that this shit is on the money, and you
I
you
mean, but
have to
wasn't the
make
bipolar
sure.
in him that was like just that switch
Well,
and having something different?
off the bat, is Scorpio. That's my weakness.
Ooh, okay.
That
The
right there, my
Scorpio bought
weakness.
the tongue out like.
That's that between and their flip side, the Taurus or the Scorpio, it's a wrap. I gotta learn to check my environment, check my head, check my emotions, really understand, okay, what's going on, which part of me is relating to this, because no matter what it is, it's going to be deep. Um, that particular one, it had a mixture of weird stuff, but there were still times when it was just on. And everything that happened, especially sexually, was always seen before. So it was even on that higher height.
But I mean, do you
You
think
know, I
like the
mean,
stars and astrology had anything to do with the sexual connection?
hell yeah, I've been doing charts since I was 14. I know who the hell makes me rise.
I
But the
mean,
cool
I'm not
part about it is
into it,
not
and
just your sun sign.
I don't follow the stars like that, and I'm not into it like that. But I've just noticed a pattern.
Yeah, because well,
Your birthday is
we're
in March something. March something.
yeah, we're part of a very fluid universe. Each of our charts is 10 planets going through 12 houses through 12 signs. It's not just the sun sign. So when there are these things going on atmospherically, we're affected by them as well. That moment we drew breath put certain essence into us. I'm born into being a free. I'm Pisces with a Libra ascendant. You're not gonna get no freer than me. Okay?
I'm a
Um,
Virgo, and my sign is the naked lady. Okay, my
yeah,
sign
but
is
she got issues.
the naked lady. So I think that says it all right there.
She gotta have some order. We ain't say she wasn't a freak, cause on the flip side, opposite my son is a very packed 11th house with 5 planets in Virgo in it. So heck yeah. I come with it hard. My Jupiter's in Taurus, my Neptune is in Scorpio. I'm gonna be that freak, but again, because it borders on the line or is entrenched within your spirituality, it's a whole nother essence for me. It's part of it is being, one could say, being re-virginized in one measure. The other part is, hmm, who can handle this?
That's true too. Everybody can't handle it. There are some men I know. If I fuck them the way that I want to fuck, I
They
will
running.
end up dead, stalked. Ringing my doorbell 24/7, phone calls 34 in a row, and this is shit that has happened.
That's why I stopped doing virgins.
You cannot fuck them the same way. You cannot eat
I
pussy.
learned real early,
You
leave
cannot
virgins
suck
alone.
dick. You cannot eat ass like that with everybody.
No, no, because they were just free. Now, mind you, here's the trip about it. You go, you ate, you had a grand time. Hold up. How the next personality gonna come back and be pissed with you because you took him through every damn thing under the sun? And folks are like, I'm like, what the hell? What's
Okay,
wrong?
okay. What things are you talking about taking them through?
There's no part of a man's body I ain't touched. My personal point that I happen to love. is right at the base of the penis, towards the scrotum measure, where everybody gets squished up, and just before the anus, there's that
Right
smooth
before
spot.
that, because they don't know where you're going to go. So they already wound up. Like, where the fuck is she? Where is that tongue? If you
And
don't
then they
go,
want to get
if you
upset
don't
because
go
they
a hair
relax.
up higher,
Then they want to get upset and
I
mad
heard
because
somebody
they
squeeze my
relax.
head like, you're going too low.
No, that's the pet peeve right there. Listen, I got this. I'm not gonna lie. You see how my hand got real tight? I will damn near break a wrist. Don't hold my hand. I have to trust you. That's one of the things. If I let you keep your hand on my head, that means I trust you enough to actually release
It's
myself fully.
it's a form of submission. For you
And
to
I
allow
don't,
someone to do that to you, it has to be a form of submission.
and there ain't too many.
It ain't too many.
And I ain't gonna sit up here like I've been some damn nun, but nope.
But I do
But
find no matter
hand
who,
on the head.
listen, it don't matter who eating my pussy. I'm holding that head.
You
Because I might have to stare it to where
gotta
I need it to
direct.
go anyway.
You gotta direct. Yeah, because again, because we were talking about before, not everybody having the same patterns. I don't care for the rabbit pattern or the squirrel pattern.
I like the rabbit. I even had me one of those. This rabbit disgusted me, girl. The rabbit got stuck on a damn chair. I positioned it, got butt naked
Oh, you talking about
position.
the rabbit? I'm talking about the rabbit eating process.
Oh, the rabbit eating like a little munch, like the munch munch. You talking about?
They do.
Yeah, that little munch.
Hold up, chipmunk. Hold up, chipmunk. Shoot! Didn't you see that clit rise? You got to expand your lip action.
Cause you gotta
Don't.
take your time. This ain't no damn crunch and munch. Slow down.
But it's these things, and then they want to say, but you don't. I know what works for me. Men listen to women. Women take your time listening to
But
men.
listen, the woman has to be vocal though, and say
Yes.
what it is she wants. The man has to
Yes.
listen to her body, even if she's not saying what she wants. Respond to the body. I'm looking straight into the camera. Respond to the body. She gonna let you know without even knowing. Someone talk to me dirty, talk to me nice, tell me something, tell me. Listen, I'm saying a whole lot right now. You see my back arching like it ain't arching in a good way.
Ah,
It's trying to get away from that tooth. Your tooth sticking.
ah. You know,
The rabbit. When
that's
she was talking about you got
full.
the rabbit. You got chipmunk.
The full arch.
We don't need that. Take your
And
time.
sometimes act like a Rottweiler, baby. Make sure that tongue is spread wide.
Listen, juicy. Slob, spit on that shit. I like
Oh, damn, I
when the
missed
head
some of
is
this
up and the
shit.
slob is going down, just falling down their chin onto the pussy. From way up in the sky. They ain't even down there eating it, but the slob, like their drool. You know when you're hungry and you're salivating for
Oh,
something, and that drool just come from. I want you to look at my pussy and eat my pussy like that. You're hungry for it.
you're hungry for it. You're hungry for it.
But just don't eat it like a rabbit or a chipmunk when you get there. Okay?
I've been blessed to be around couples that have been married. Some of them may
Oh,
be
let's
their
talk about
second
the
marriage,
couples. Let's talk
but
about the couples.
who've been married some 20 years, 30 years, and they still hand on each other's ass. You know, don't pass by each other without brushing or something. They may give the little pet, but you know they tear up a bedroom just by their communication.
Uh-huh.
And and then there's the others, because there's the flip side. The others that were playing dozens when they were younger, and they carried it into their old age, and now it's venom, but they still tearing it up in the bedroom too. At a friend of mine, she recently lost her husband. They were married 40 years. It was a second marriage for both. And they were talking about this unconditional love. And you can tell that if it hadn't been for illness, they were still getting it on. And they 70 some odd years old. That's why I know there's hope for me. But I ain't gonna lie,
You gonna
I
find
just
them.
tried it.
You gonna
I
find them.
just need them. They just can't be younger than my daughter.
But you know what? There's two things I want to touch on. What you're talking about with couples, but with something else you said earlier too about celibacy.
Yep.
And I wanted to ask you, do you feel like when you're celibate for a while and then go back into the sex, that it makes it that much greater than before you were celibate? Do you feel like there's two questions. Do you feel like there's a rejuvenation of that area?
Depends on when you had it, who you had it with, I would think. Because spiritually, anyway, it always causes this great high. Everything else going on in the atmosphere is popping as well. It's been, I know I can count on less than two hands the amount of sex I've had in 10 years. That's one. Oh, no, maybe no, it's less than two hands. But I will say,
Y'all ain't getting no numbers from me. We ain't doing that today. But go ahead.
no. It's just that I've been in this space for 10 years, and there hasn't been one-on-one communication with many. There was one where, whew, wow,
You
he
got a
knocked my
story to
glasses
tell.
off. That, yeah, could that one right there.
I got my drink. You got a story to tell.
Wasn't the fact that he young, and he need to,
This
kids are
one got
grown
you
and all
hot.
that. Go ahead and
This one had
handle
the
that.
plug out. This one got you hot. What?
But that one there, mm,
I mean,
that's
I'm
why I
a
say you
top
got to be
five.
careful when they're young, because when they're young, you prepare them for their next, especially if they didn't come to stay with you, be
Listen,
around you. You
virgins,
know that at times.
you can't do virgins.
That's why it
It
can't be
sounds like you're
virgins,
talking
because
about a
virgins
virgin.
get stuck. Virgins get stuck. But this was one who was man enough in his knowledge of self, yes, 20 years younger, but could handle himself and knew how to handle me. But we had to, go ahead and go on back into the world, because we
Wow.
can't do this right now. You got kids to raise. But that was a total rejuvenation of all over. Um, there was somewhere in there, um, that had a little series of lunch things, but there was somewhere in there that it did not come with the mental packaging it needed to come to. That's why it's not a rush or like, damn, I'm horny, I need to get some. Because if you can't come with that mental and spiritual satisfaction that I need, I'm not going to bother, because then you're just going to clutter up my stuff. And then here we go, we got to restart a clock again.
I mean,
So sex
sometimes
for sex sake,
I feel like sometimes with me, it doesn't have to be spiritual, even though it's on a spiritual plane, but I'm not going to allow my mind to go there because, like you said, you just want that release or you want that person for a certain thing. Maybe they have a certain skill, a technique that you like that they can do in bed, but there's nothing else there that's going to, have you guys on that spiritual plane.
nah.
Because
And then that's when
it
I
is
don't
a
want to waste
spiritual
my time.
thing, but it don't mean
I
you're on
want to
that
see
spiritual
movies.
plane with the person.
I want to see movies. I want to co-create.
What would
I
be the
want to see
name of your
colors.
movie? What would be the name of your movie? If you had a sexual, maybe even a porn. You was on Pornhub. You was talking about the Pornhub earlier. If they were searching to find your porn girl, what would it say?
And still want to be connecting the dots across the diaspora. Yeah. Listen, there was a thing that I could never
I want to hear
understand
that.
it, but
Damn,
I'm
sis.
okay with how the Most High always brought it, even from high school. It was always what I call the mutant factor. There were always these blends, Dominican
Mutant
Puerto
factor.
Rican mix. It was always, how the hell you get him? I ain't get him. He came to me.
Mhm.
They were always gorgeous. That and because I always have a very active life. Folks could never tell who the hell I was dating because I didn't date per se. You had to fit into the life schedule.
Because you're a busy woman. You do a lot of things. You travel and,
And that was it
sometimes you
even
got to
early.
fit in.
When I was in my 20s and dudes were like, oh, well, I'm engaged now. But see, when I was looking to make that decision, you were nowhere to be found. Yeah, have passport, I'm gone. It's still the same thing at 55. I meet you in the
Right.
airport. I never forget. I'm in Jamaica. I call somebody. Listen, I'm down here for a couple of months. I got a spot. Come join me.
I mean, but have you ever had sex in the airport? Just a
No,
flyby?
but let me
Have you
finish.
had a fly?
Let me finish. Let me finish the sentence though. When the brother asked me if I was buying his ticket, like,
Look, pussy all the way dry. Pussy all the way dry.
man, that's why I just said, fuck it. Let me and my
By your
cameras and my
flesh.
computer roaming around. But then again, I'm not going to lie. I had to remember, I'm like, how the hell Stella went to Jamaica, got her groove back. Then I had to remind myself, I didn't go to the resort where the groove is built in.
It sounded like you went to the trenches. You went to the trenches and came back
I
with
went
Bill.
everywhere. And I ain't gonna lie, I did not have sex in Ecuador. I did not have sex in Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
I did not have sex on 3 trips to Jamaica. Either I got to change. No, I ain't changing shit. It'll catch up to me when
You
necessary.
sound like Sam I am. I did not have sex, and BJ Peart did not have sex in Ecuador.
Hmm.
She did not have sex near nor there. She did not have sex anywhere.
A lot of it comes down to, and I do believe when that moment, whatever it comes, and it is an issue of, oh, I'm actually going to do this. If there's most likely some trust in there, which would make it seem much better. But then again, who's not to say I'm not going to come across that one where I look at you, you look at me, opportunity present itself, condoms about, and we just going to blast off.
I'm glad you said that. Condoms have to be about.
You know?
Condoms
Shoot.
have. I'm a sex advocate for safe sex. Whatever kind of protection you got to use, you got to do it. I remember one
Listen.
time I wanted somebody so bad I ain't have nothing on me. They said they ain't have nothing either. I said, "Oh hell no, it ain't. It's not going down." I was trying to think about what the fuck I can use. I said, if I put a saran wrap, is that gonna work? Is that gonna? I was trying to get
Yes,
creative.
it does.
I
Yes,
said,
it does.
hold on.
And I've had folks get upset with me about the saran wrap. I said, oh,
I mean,
because I ain't going to lie.
there's a protection, right? I think you just gotta mold it right, mold it around the
Yes,
penis
ma'am.
and the veins that we was
Yes,
talking about
ma'am.
earlier. Make sure it get all the,
That's it. And you got to
wrap up the
leave. You
balls
got
if
to
you got to.
leave no space in there for growth. Because as it ain't gorgeous, you know what's trying. You
You
got, but
can't use the
oh,
saran wrap until they're fully hard. Not until they're fully hard. Anytime
listen.
before, you're risking a poke, the
Yes.
further outer edge of the penis through the saran wrap. So, you gotta wait till you're there.
And folks going to act like, listen, that's why that when I look at, I saw something, I keep watching these Nollywood movies. I'm like, how the hell y'all using abortions as birth control? I'm like, no, 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 no.
You're
See, in the
messing up your
midst of
womb
all
with
this, no
that,
matter
man.
what, being safe means from disease, pregnancy, maintaining mental and spiritual freedom, and knowledge of self. And protection of self is paramount on that list. Paramount. That's why I'm real funky with it. And I guess I'm funky in terms of my attitude because I would look a man up and down and strip him with my eyes when he come out of his mouth with some certain stuff. You can't come at me that way. You better come for my head before you think you coming for body parts because the body parts aren't going to respond unless the mind has been opened up.
Mm-hmm.
You open this head up,
You
we
gotta
start
mind fuck
food.
you first. Mind
That's
fuck.
a whole
I
other
love
way.
intelligence. When you're talking about being a sapiosexual, You have to fuck this first, and I will fuck the shit out of you.
Man, listen, have me running have me keeping Google hot. Have me digging out the encyclopedia. Let's explore some shit. Come come with this, man. Come to the table. Remember, I'm connecting the dots across the diaspora. We can talk dynasty. We can talk. You may talk. Don't give me that Africa one country thing. Can we go through these 54 continents, my brother? Because I want to do all the dance moves with you. And we do that. Come on now. But see, some of these things, folks are scared to explore. I see the same movements that I may see in a church aisle when people are in the moment and the spirit has come down is the same thing I'm seeing at a kumina in the bushes down in St. Thomas is the same thing I'm seeing in the basement in Brooklyn for a tambone, for Paulo. It's all that same energy. And when I start to flow and when I allow, and there are times where, yeah, flow comes through, and you got to know, as someone said, they didn't know who they was coming home to. And I was never a woman for wigs. So God help them if I ever actually had some wigs. But I did have one or two.
Oh yeah, I like to dress up too. I like to role play.
I did have one or two.
I like but the best is when they rip that wig off and grab my nats. I don't have that much, but the best thing is when they take they only got that 1 or 2 fingers and pull the little the half an inch, grab me by the half an inch and pull my damn brains out and pull a crumb up through my damn throat. I like that. That's what I'm talking about. Rip my wig
Your
off.
brain just took me to gulping stage. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, ladies, make sure you put some fruit in this diet. Goddamn it.
Lord have
Make
mercy.
the cum
Please eat
sweet.
some fruit, some vegetables, drink a smoothie at least once a day if you ain't eating the
Make
vegetables. Throw some greens
that's
and
it.
vegetables in that smoothie, please. Because
Feed
this
them
is
how
no
you
lies. This is no exaggeration. If you eat rice and beans, if you nut in my mouth, I am tasting rice and fucking beans. A lot of men don't know that. Rice and beans or Franks and beans.
ah,
Franks and beans.
what they
If
say?
that's what you
Careful
eating, I'm
how you
tasting
mix
it.
it. Careful how you bring the meat to a vegan. Cause
Listen, I'll suck the asshole backwards from a fucking pescatarian. I'll tell you that much.
listen, I had to call
Period.
somebody today because they put up some fish. I'm like, why y'all gonna treat me like that? I had no fish. I had no meat. Okay, I had turkey wings, but other than that, it's just been fruit and sea moss and this and whether or not ounces are shifting, I don't know. But the highlight that I see me in, ah, it's like the glow stays within me and it stays with me. And you're like, whose son's back will I break? But I don't know. Or I'm not gonna lie, one of my favorite my favorites.
What?
Because folks seem to be like, why the hell you got on the man shoes? Because I just got shoes I don't pay no mind to. They just sturdy because I
Mm-hmm.
got big feet. And then
Mm-hmm.
always in there somewhere is this nice pair of heels. But don't nobody ever see them heels. But if you get that man, your stick is back up against the damn wall, and you get to work your heels, and the only thing you're hanging on to is what God gave him arching out. And it's your job to make his knees buckle. Oh,
Lord have mercy.
memories, memories, memories. Ain't nothing
When
sweeter than
it's
just
your
watching a man
job,
crumble
when
against
it's
the
your
walls.
job to make that man knees buckle. When
Yes,
you go
and
into a
just have him
mind frame
crumble
like
against
it
the
is my
wall.
total job to please you right now,
Listen, yes,
and in turn
I
I'm going to be pleased. When the end result
someone
is me
don't
being
take on
pleased
that
because I know I pleased
obligation.
you, it's a
Just
beautiful thing.
there ain't nothing else left. Get up, walk the fuck away. Just leave. My work is done. Ooh,
When
somebody's
you can't
son
walk
gonna be in
after,
trouble.
you can't even
Huh?
breathe after. Wouldn't it feel like it's still inside of you after? It's a beautiful thing.
You gave me this. I just had a flashback of younger years in Brooklyn and getting on the train because I wasn't at my house.
Mm-hmm.
That's why my older years, I'm like, let it happen at my house. Because you ride a New York City subway train after a good damn dick down, you will experience all that over
All of
again.
that. All of that. Because it's still on your mind. Like I
Mine and the
said, you
damn
have
pussy lips
mind
so
fucks. You can
slippery
just
and the
get fucked
train
out of it.
vibrating. The brain just vibrating, the whole body just taking it over
I've
again.
had it.
But I ain't gonna lie, I'm also a late orgasmic person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you want me to come for you, that's not to come.
Because
That was
orgasms
just
aren't the same.
no, no. That was just a little body tremors.
This is a
Mine is gonna
tremor.
come
This a little
after
nut.
you pulled out.
He looking at you like, did
After
you
he pulled
come?
out,
That little bit that you had, that was just a little, no. Because I get the vibrations. I be like, oh shit, it's a fucking earthquake.
mhm.
But
But just when he's done and he thought he went to sleep, and I'm laying there, and here come the tsunami. Like, oh,
it could be
shit.
20 minutes later.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And it's more than the nut that you gave him when y'all were doing it. Because it's in the mind. Later on, you thinking about what happened, and sometimes the thought of it is even more sexier than when it happened. And I think, too, that's why sometimes when you're having sex with somebody, it's like, you know what? It took out the anticipation, the mind part, the everything you have built up in your head, you know?
All the
Because
other
we
blessings.
build it up in our head. It's a fantasy. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
can't wait to get this shit. And when I get it, it's going to be like this, and it's going to be good, and I'm going to be sweat, and you got all of these
Check off the
preconceived
list.
notions, right? And then afterwards, you get it, and, you know, you may have came a little, but going back and just reminiscing about what actually happened when it takes place in your head, and that this shit
Here
started
comes the
flowing through your
magic.
mind, how he was sweating, and the sweat dripped from his forehead down to your breast, and it just fell right here, and you was, oh, Lord have mercy.
And when he couldn't breathe for just a moment.
Lord, when he threw his head back, searching for God, calling on God. It be
Woo!
those moments that have you, damn, I'm over here reminiscing right now too, Lord.
But it's some of those things that folks don't want to recognize that that's the freedom of the freak within them. And they still want to cut it off right when it happens.
Yeah, stop
That's it.
cutting it
I've done
off.
my duty. It's over. And it can't really happen like that because as we get older, our how we perceive the difference of having sex, fucking, making love,
It's
having
all different.
intimacy,
It's all different.
communicating is all different.
And I feel
All
like
different.
people they get confused with fucking and having sex because the fuck is so good. You just fuck the shit out of them.
No, that was just
And
getting
they
it up.
thought that
That's
you
why I
just
sat up there and said,
made love.
all fuck ain't good fuck. I ain't gonna lie. If you got something to get off your damn chest and you just wanna, what does they say, fuck till you buck, that's it, then you get somebody who just got out. Because they got some pent up stuff that they
Listen,
need to let the
that
hell
real
out their
deal.
system and they not gonna give a damn. That, oh, woo, Lord Jesus.
That real
That and them
dick.
fools coming home from the military.
It is the best
I
dick.
never forget in between the front door and the vestibule door of 1196. God damn. Okay.
You got to take it off. You got to take it off.
But and the craziest part about it is, and then to fast forward, be around somebody who knew that this was going to be their first time coming out of a situation who said,
Yes.
no, I can't do that to you.
Yes.
Oh, we got 27 seconds left. Um, we going to let this ride for a hot moment. We may have to come back to this again. But this has been amazing with the one and only one Gigi Cummings. We ain't done. We might have to come back because
I
we
just want to
really just
say,
got started.
before we get off the